So what drew me to teach yoga is probably the same thing that drew me to practice yoga. And in 1994, I was feeling tingling and I had all this stuff going on in my body, and then I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. But before my diagnosis, I was doing network chiropractic, and in the office there was a library of books. And I was drawn to this silver copy of Light on Yoga by B.K.S. Iyengar. They're not silver anymore, this is totally an old one. And then I started doing yoga classes, even with the tingling in my feet and everything that was going on. I knew that there was something in my body that I had to pay attention to. And then I got this diagnosis of MS, and it was totally, it freaked me out. I was really afraid. And then the yoga helped me to embrace this, being that I was a gymnast before and I was really in my body. It helped me to really listen to my body. And so I was practicing for many years, and then in 2002, I had a waitressing job, and then I collapsed after working, and I decided I had to go on a trip and kind of talk to God and have my own conversation and go out in the world and kind of ask these deeper questions, because I realized that every time I was going to the mat or coming to the mat, there was always these deeper questions that I was asking. And then I went to Hawaii, I did my first yoga retreat, and then I found a teacher training program in LA, and I decided to do that. And in 2002, I moved to LA to study, and then I started teaching yoga. And my inspiration were all of my teachers, for sure, and especially Elena Brower in New York. I studied with her, and I remember I took her class after a couple years of practicing, and she just made me feel so good in my body, and I wanted to do that. But I knew that I still had work in fashion to do and a lot to learn, as well as so many things that were happening before I decided I really wanted to teach yoga. And so I help my students through teaching Anusara Yoga, which is the style of yoga that I teach, to embrace their bodies and to really see that life is a gift. And that's what my teachers told me, which was extremely healing. And then I share that with my students, and I find that yoga, what I mainly teach about is self-empowerment. And to keep myself fresh in teaching, I look at the world and I look at my life, and I find that there's always areas that we can learn from, especially our challenges, our obstacles. There's always a sweet morsel there.